Game 3 between Germany and Denmark is about to go live, and while Denmark can't qualify themselves anymore for the players, they still want to make sure that they do not disappoint their fans and go down without a fight. They can still win this 2-1 and maybe do something for their honor. Ladies and gentlemen, we saw a wonderful series here. The previous ones before were just as insane, and it is safe to say that the Heroes of the Storm Nexus game Europe Edition is one of the craziest but also most exciting tournaments all year long.
I don't think I've ever been so exhausted by casting with some of these games. They are insane with the amount of back and forth and turns, and we've definitely had some of the most insane boss players, I will definitely argue, and we're also having some of the most insane map play.
All right, and it is time to find out where the Danish team is going to pick us, because it was their battleground to choose, and it looks like we're going to... Let's wait for the graphics behind me. To mob the Spider Queen. There we go.
That's it. Watch out.
It is so probably one of the greatest graphics here we've got behind us. Beautiful screen.
Yeah, it is. I love it. I can't argue with it. It's really fun being able to see the maps appear behind us.
Absolutely. Now, Tumos Spider Queen is probably the most played battleground we've had here in the Nexus games all tournament long. Now, that isn't necessarily the case in the remaining sectors of competitive Heroes of the Storm. Do you have an explanation why we see this battleground so often here?
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Tomb of the Spider Queen is one of the battlegrounds that has actually snuck into Hero League a surprising amount and hasn't disappeared too often. So I would guess people are just familiar with it, and it's a very comfortable battleground to play.
It potentially allows picks like that Chromie again, which we've been seeing very often between the teams, so never mind.
There it goes.
I mean, to be fair, Dreamy was an absolute nightmare to face. I'm pretty sure that the German players agreed on the fact that we do not want to face this feisty little guy again.
And the chat vote currently in favor of Team Germany. They have nothing to lose right now, so this is very much a momentum, morale, and honor game.
And if you thought Germany was playing weird all tournament long, just wait until we see them play when there's nothing on the line anymore. Maybe we're going to see a next level strategy. I don't know.
Honor, pride, momentum, and morale. So Morales first pick confirmed.
Let's see.
The interesting thing for me is going to be to see who's more affected by this outcome. Is it going to be Germany saying, oh, we made it, guys. Like, we're so relieved, we're just going to chill. Or is it going to be Denmark, who are so disappointed that they did not make it out?
And this is potentially what this countdown is for us. They are using it almost all of their time for the very first pick of the game.
This is where Denmark needs to make a stand, and they need to act as a unit one last time and show us what their team was really made of. They do have the player material. Nyman is such a good ranged assassin. I think that last Valla performance was the best one we've seen on him in this tournament thus far.
Completely agreed. He played absolutely insane, was dropping huge damage at several mosh pit interruptions as well. Was very impressed.
By the same token, Dreamy continues to impress. I think it's actually safe to say that we can put him on the same level up to this point, like Carsey, or maybe even, I don't know, some of the friends plays like Danatan. I think he really stepped up his own game by a large margin.
I would be more than comfortable placing Dreamy that high, to be honest. And he's also the shot caller and drafter for the team.
So, we are seeing Genji and ETC. No Rhaegar or Greymane so far in this draft. Both of these teams prioritizing some high lane damage and some good gank potential.
All right, Genji always a threat to be reckoned with, especially on Tomb of the Spider Queen, where it's really easy for him to make the transition from one lane to the other thanks to his superior mobility.
He also has very decent ranged poke, which is going to be very effective at denying those turn-ins. Johanna returns once again, and this has always been traditionally one of her top maps, especially when paired with Malfurion for the insane clear speed the two have together.
All right, Malfurion continues to make an appearance here, and this time relatively early in the draft as well. Normally, we are used to seeing him as a very late secondary support addition.
I very much like the direction we are heading with this Germany team comp. I think they're going to be running Gul'dan, Johanna, and Malfurion as the top three. They're going to be instant wave clearing. They might be splitting people up. They might be ganking other lanes. And in the bot lane, I think we're going to see another support, maybe Rhaegar, and also a strong solo laner, possibly Zagara, possibly something even like Tracer.
Right. A Medivh ban could indicate a potential Stitches play, don't you think?
Or it could indicate some other form of funny business.
It could. Anything that would be protected by protected. So banning out that Medivh could open up the options. We do see some funny business in the form of the Junkrat.
It's the perfect day for some mayhem, in my opinion. Junkrat locked in for Denmark. I'd like to see how it rolls.
The perfect situation for some mayhem, and if it's going to roll the way it usually rolls, we're going to see that rolling Riptire as the heroic, as we have seen that 2 out of the 2 times Junkrat has been picked.
Absolutely, and given the fact that a lot of people actually predicted Rocket Ride to make it into the competitive meta, that's a little bit surprising, isn't it?
Yeah, but it has been working. The Riptire, it seems to be keeping the Junkrat safe. Still no sight of that crazy backdoor strategy with consistent Junkrat rocket rides.
Yeah, unfortunately it was nerfed in between Junkrat arriving on live from the PTR.
Yeah, it's still
not really a shame. I'm quite glad that happened,
it's still doable, but it's really slow.
Much worse, yeah.
All right, there's 2 picks left for the German team. I would pretty much expect another support to come in. Solo support Malfurion has been a very, very rare sight these days.
And we do. Morales returns, and Zool enters in again.
That's a lot of wave clear now.
See, they actually ended up on 0 seconds. Could this have been a random?
If it is a random, it's not bad. Double support, Zool's been very effective here. They have a tank, even though it is solo tank Johanna. It's not the worst if it is a random.
I think it can work out.
You think one person was still celebrating?
Yeah. I will argue as they are on Tournament Realm and skins aren't automatic, I will argue it's probably a pick. They are both wearing skins.
He was instantly skinned.
Exactly.
Get back here, Ribby. We still need to play one.
And Arthas finishes out the draft for Team Denmark.
Arthas, a very strong hero against Zool because he doesn't die to him, and he completely gets onto him, locks him down, slows him down, and can end up killing him, especially with a Genji gank or even a Brightwing gank.
Absolutely. So, it's a very interesting draft on both sides. We do have a couple of funky heroes making it in. The Zool is a hero we're not used to seeing traditionally, but neither can we say that Junkrat is a regular customer, can we?
True. We've seen Junkrat 2 games, and I think we've seen
50%
Zool 3 games?
2 or 3?
Maybe 4. Not sure. It's definitely more than 2.
But we also saw Zool from the fan favorites Portugal, and Holotype made that look very convincing, at least some games.
Very true. And with the solo Brightwing healer, Poison Nova can gain some very significant value, as Brightwing does not heal a lot of damage very quickly, and Poison Nova can be very effective against that kind of style.
We've seen it once. We even saw the 20 upgrade and Dariel's Visage coming in here as well to give additional life support and life sustain to Zool whenever he hits a target. So, one last time in this series, Bakery and Tetcher, who do you think is going to win?
It's crazy to me that we came into this tournament, looking at Germany as the last place team, but they've proved they're potentially a first place team. And I believe in them. I think they can take this game.
Tetcher.
I believe in the Junkrat. I believe it is a perfect day for some mayhem, and a little bit of explosion damage could be what they need to get through that Malfurion here.
And I'm going to join you, Tetcher. I think the Danes are going to put a last fireworks here in this tournament, and they're going to show their fans what they're made of.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, for the last time in this series, running in a circle, it's Team Germany. And playing for them, we have the center of attention, Braid on that Zool, Ribby on the Morales, Minx on the Gul'dan, Born on the Johanna, and we see Nunia on the Malfurion.
And their opponents from Denmark give them a last hooray. It is Nyman on the Junkrat, Dreamy plays Genji, Youngbeck on the ETC, Valnut is playing on Arthas, and Dizzy Dwarf swapping over to the Brightwing.
And so, we're starting off with the put some English on it, on the Junkrat, and we're seeing that extra percentage-based damage for the Zool. Very effective against the Arthas is one of the few advantages he does have over Arthas, as he does not have many, and it can also work on the ETC.
Definitely true. The more high HP warriors you see on the enemy side, the more you want to go for that talent. Very true. Actually, it's cool to see how we now have all 3 level 1 bone talents available for Zul, because for the most part, it was only Shade to have those dodges in. Speaking of Zul, Brain is in a lot of trouble. The Holding Blast connects. First blood goes over to Denmark.
And Arthur's the one to pick up the kill. Genji very far forward, very nearly drops down.
I think they're going to get this.
Finish off Nunia with the reset too. And that is 2 kills to 0 in favor of Denmark.
Yeah, Dreamy once again showing us really what kind of playmaker he can become. So definitely a strong contestant for tournament MVP in my opinion.
I would definitely agree. He has been very, very solid so far. For now though, we will see Dizzy-Dwarf teleporting. Where's he going? It looks like there's a scuffle in the mid lane. They're looking for Johanna, but Iron Skin, good ability. I have the Junkrat bomb, and bye-bye Johanna.
And you can really see how reinvigorated the young Danish team is here in this game number 3. Their rotations are splendid. They're getting 1 kill after the other. Beautiful display.
Beautiful display indeed, as Brain will be forced out and Denmark take full momentum and begin dominating this early game.
Yep, there we go. In the meantime, though, experience is still relatively even. No major lead for either of the teams. 29 gems in the bank for Denmark, whereas 22 are sitting in there for Germany.
Teleport, driving onto Dreamy, polymorphing to prevent that drain. Nuni is in a little bit of trouble. Born potentially more so, as Youngback is blocking off the escape. Born tanking through though.
Yeah, a lot of damage absorption here done by the Johanna and the German team in general. You can really see how the strong sustained healing provided by Malfurion and the Lieutenant Morales is so good at stopping the sustained damage by Junkrat.
Dreamy might die. Fires, deflect through the
Wait, is he gonna make it? Moonfire?
He can't.
Oh, he's out of range.
Too far away. Nunia is not getting Back trade Moonfire picks up the Genji, but Nunia has regrets.
And that is the level 4. That is the Loon's Grace allowing Nunia to cast his abilities from a larger distance. Well chosen indeed, and that really shows why this old school talent is so useful and powerful.
It really is, and it did work out for him in that scenario. And picking up that kill, that's actually Germany's first kill of the game. So good job, Nunia there. Another interesting talent that we don't see too often is ETC's talent. He's gone for the Crowd Surfer.
Exactly. Unfortunately, the Howling Blast not connecting here. The knockback was interfering with that maneuver. Nyman needs to be very careful now. Mings on that Gul'dan has a long range in his abilities.
So we see Dreamy hovering around the area. Valnod, 21 gems currently in his possession, and he is quite low. He's taken a lot of damage.
All right, so the German team has taken control over the lanes here. Brain doing what a Necromancer does best. He's summoning skeletons and destroys enemy minions. Dreamy and Dizzy-Dwarf have to say about it, though. They deal a lot of damage. Is it going to be enough, though?
The skeletons making this very difficult for Dreamy to continue. He gets focused down as we now see the focus onto Mix, but the damage output isn't really there. Nyman not offering enough burst damage to finish the job.
Ribi actually continues to impress me on that Morales, not just because he keeps everybody alive, but also because his positioning is so diligent. He very rarely exposes himself to an enemy onslaught.
Completely agree. He is looking very solid this tournament so far. Morales seems to be one of his favorites, and for very good reason.
I mean, Morales is really on the rise here, I feel. It's normally a support we're not used to seeing all the time, but the more I see her in the Nexus games, the more I think that it could be a good pick for other teams as well.
Sport on the rise indeed. It's worked out well in the majority of the games we've actually seen it. So very nice job by all the Morales players in this tournament, honestly.
Warren, by the way, deviating his build on the Johanna a little bit from the other examples we've seen so far. At level 7, he goes for the momentum.
Blessed momentum. We actually saw that last game as well.
Oh, really? Did we?
Yeah.
I didn't even see that.
I forgot, honestly. I completely forgot. Junkrat, big as, increasing Steel Trap's radius and damage by 50%. No trick shuffle.
Just to be on the safe side here, we spelled that with an AS.
Just AS, single S.
There we go. Yeah, I know you guys out there are naughty. Yep, wonderful people.
Yes, as we choose but yeah, it is big as opposed to sticky wicket or the usual tricky shuffles.
All right, ETC takes the roots to the face. Youngbeck in trouble, takes another hit, and Gul'dan makes the cow go boom. In the meantime, everyone on Team Denmark is so low. Valnut escapes those, so does Dreamy.
Valnut barely escaping, actually. He got dropped super low. Got a last-minute Brightwing heal, though, and that mid-fort shall fall.
All right, in the meantime, we see the minion wave coming in here. Nyman also needs to be careful. Even Nunia, cheeky boop over the wall here. Nicely done.
So yeah, I'm wondering if this big ass talent is going to be combined with the chattering teeth that for the chasing traps a little bit later on. We will have to see, but you are giving up either both.
Is that the one that makes the steel traps follow a target?
Yes.
That's Kalaris' favorite talent.
Yeah, big ass or chattering teeth together means that you have a quite scary potential route there, but they are quite slow, so you need, but combine that with Arthas. I'm starting to see where this could be going. If this is the strategy we are going for, as Zul finishes Jailers.
All right, Jailers is definitely very useful. It allows Zul to deal a little bit more damage with the skeletons. Let's see. Speaking of skeletons, by the way, level 10, we see the mages coming in.
Yes, we do. We do see the mages coming in, and Morales also going for Medivac, because she does not have the guts to stim drone Azul, which is one of the used to be one of the funniest combos. Azul used to have a crazy build where he could increase his attack.
I was gonna say, if you go full cursed strikes, it could have actually been worth investing for. In the meantime, though,
Arthas ruined. ETC, yeah, Arthas and ETC, both the tanks get absolutely destroyed.
And unfortunately for the Danish teams, they also, that is a one-way ticket to boss.
They're doing a pommy, using the Medivac the second they get a kill to react and head to boss. And we will see Germany going to be able to take this.
Yeah, I think they could actually grab it. ETC only now respawned, and level 10 is nowhere near, so I don't think he could even take stage dive if he wanted to. So that should be a pretty safe boss tenture.
Absolutely beautiful Medivac play, not using it as just that safety tool, using it for the rotation.
The way it's meant to be used.
It gives. Absolutely wonderful. But in that time, Denmark were able to sneak a turn.
Yeah, that's cool for them because it's going to relieve lane pressure, especially in the middle and the bottom. Top lane, of course, is going to get dominated by that boss. The German team is following suit here very quickly. And the Zul is probably going to be the only sole defender here in both lanes. The skeletons, the wave clear he provides is more than enough to really keep two whippers in check.
They have the fort now, so it looks like they are actually just going to leave the boss and go and defend all the other lanes themselves. They're already very far ahead, so they can afford to do this. Denmark as well have heroics. It would be very risky to push into them as Genji with the Dragon Blade. Emerald Wind not getting any value here as we see, well, Germany just ran away.
Yeah, the Danish team is furious, and that instant engage onto the backline of Germany was very reckless, but they didn't have to. Oh my goodness, yeah. Mings, I mean, if we're talking about strong mage players with Dreamy, Tix, and all the other guys we've seen in the tournament, we will have to mention Mings as probably one of the most improved Assassins players.
Completely agree. He has been showing us some really good play this entire tournament on Greybane and on this Gul'dan so far in this game. Whereas Denmark, they're looking for something. They used Dragon Blade and Emerald Wind in that fight, but they still have Moshpit and they still have Riptire.
Absolutely. By the way, beautiful mount synergy on both sides. We see a lot of happy and sad clouds for the Danish team and a lot of money picks on the left-hand side for the Germans. Calder would be very approving.
He would indeed. Nyman, though, kind of ruining it with a snowflake. But sometimes you can't get everyone.
Sometimes you can indeed. Malafruin getting engaged on Ice Block.
Delay. Twilight Dream. He gets Polymorph. The fear is used. Nunia will get... Oh, no, he didn't. The tire died. And Nunia, in full retreat, he'll finally get killed off, though.
Yeah, he's definitely going to get caught here. In the meantime, the Riptire was so sad. Youngbeck takes an entire corruption wave all on his body, but the Danish team, they get a kill, they fall back, and keep in mind, they didn't even level up 13. That was a great fight.
They took that fight while a talent down, and even though the Riptire was killed, it works very similar in the way it does in Overwatch, where if the tire is destroyed, it does not explode. even though they were that, Malfurion was running away from that tire to split himself from the team so the damage wouldn't splash onto them. The tire then died, and he was completely out of position.
And that's the thing about Zul and Gul'dan as well. They possess so much AoE damage that sometimes, without them even intending to, they may actually kill the Riptire with all those AoE splash damage that they can provide.
Exactly. Now we see Germany continuing to put pressure on with their next Web Weaver wave as they begin to put pressure onto mid lane. They are leaving top lane alone, which Junkrat will clear out a little. And he's also going to have Riptire back soon.
Yeah, Riptire will be back indeed. So will the Emerald Wind, and so will the Army of the Dead. So the Danish team, they've got all the tools available to really try and hold this in the middle. Youngback going in, so is this Dwarf, and Dreamy already in the middle of the fight.
Dreamy, the tire goes down again. Dreamy trying to focus the Malfurion, who is completely isolated. Here's the Horrify, though, keeping doing your life. Grabbing two, but where's the damage? Finally, Genji coming in, but Mix so far, tanking his way through, staying alive. He gets consumed soul on the minion, staying alive here, and it's gonna be ETC that drops. Medivac keeps Morales alive, and I think someone else got in as well.
Yeah.
Nope, they didn't. So yeah, Morales able to rejoin her team here.
Minx is the ultimate true survivor on that Gul'dan. He was focused by absolutely everyone on the opposing team. However, he was there to survive, and that consumed soul near the minion wave really saved his butt.
He was in serious danger, but was able to re-sustain his way up. Medivac not available for Ribby, so you can see Genji trying to focus him down. Dizzy Dwarf is dead. He gets killed by the Johanna flashlight.
Yeah.
And we see Nyman. He's trying to deal damage, doing everything he can, but with two keeps down.
Oh no, the
Germany
grenade.
picking up yet another kill, and they are trying to move on to the core. Silence on Genji. They just let him go as the core begins to go down.
That could be it. 2 more minion waves are spawning to help the defense for the Danish team a little bit, but it looks like the 2 warriors are not going to be enough. Genji is joining the fray once more. They're going to have to get something done here.
They're driving it back.
It's not too bad.
Medevac's available, so they can just leave in a desperate, the literally medical evacuation, as the ability is called, if they need to. But instead, they are able to run back.
All right, how many gems do we have on the bank accounts here? 53 for Germany and 40 for the Danish team. So neither of the teams can call the web viewers right now.
Much to my personal disappointment, we are in fact going to be seeing Bogged Down, I believe, is what that one looks like. Yeah, Bogged Down as the Junkrat talent and not the Chattering Teeth.
Never lucky. Maybe next time.
Never lucky indeed. But well, right now, Denmark hovering around the boss area. They wanted to see if they could trap Germany, but Germany were doing an easy cap.
And now, of course, with 2 keeps being destroyed already and the Medivac available, I think Germany has a lot of tools to further control and dominate the map. They could get mercenary camps again. In fact, the Siege Giants are pushing right here, right now. Are they going to be brave enough to start a boss? They do have a pretty significant XP lead, though.
They really do, and with those Siege Giants pushing in the bottom lane, Denmark are consistently distracted, because eventually they will have to react to that. It's going to be Dizzy Dwarf going down there. Brightwing, well known for her not superb wave clear. She has okay, but against this, it's going to take a while.
It's definitely going to take a while here for the Brightwing to deal with that onslaught. Mercenaries, catapults, minions, and another mercenary camp being taken on the German side here. Born is trying to get the last couple of gems, and 7 is the exact amount of how many they do need.
Goes to bot. ETC is already in position to deny him if he is trying to go down there.
Tiny little detail here. Ribby was actually healing a catapult, and that's totally legit. If there's nothing else to do, just do it.
And ETC is destroyed. Emerald Wind, though, focusing Ribby, but Junkrat, he saves Ribby. Ribby makes a hold. Junkrat finally picking up a kill. He's been trying all game. He also died, but he's able to get the kill. Valdor will die to the poison, but for Junkrat, hashtag worth.
Absolutely. That feels good when you're playing Junkrat and you finally get that long-desired Riptire kill. But it doesn't seem to matter. The Germany team is already knocking on the Danish core, and they will take game number 3 as well. A very solid performance by both teams, and I think it is safe to say that this was a very entertaining series up to the very last moment.
Absolutely. Very nicely done by Team Germany. They will be moving on to the playoffs tomorrow along with Team Hungary.
Exactly. The playoffs, of course, going to take place next weekend. Tomorrow, we're just going to do the Group C and D. But we already have a couple of teams who have entered the next stage of the Nexus games. And Bakery, let's be honest here. If I had told you that the German team would make it before the tournament even started, what would your reaction been?
Honestly, I think I would have flipped the tables for this group. I think that's what I predicted coming in. So very surprising. Fantastic job to all teams, and we're going to show here highlights from both teams in this final replay. So we see a gank onto bot lane here. I want to highlight two things. Just how smooth Dreamy is on this Genji. The perfect timing of the E to deliver the Brightwing. The perfect amount of going in. Now, look at how they trade the tower aggro. So Dreamy actually starts tanking the top one. He then resets it, waits for his E cooldown, comes back in to finish it off. And both of them survive on low HP and get the double kill. So honestly, that's Denmark this tournament. They're so coordinated, their players are making individual plays, and everything looks really good. But at the same time, the final touches just weren't there, and sadly, that's why they're not moving on to playoffs. However, Germany, again, our next replay are going to show why they are such an amazing team who did, I believe, get first seed from this group. As we roll it forward, we see them invade. They are 10 versus 9, so Denmark do not want this fight. Look at Minx on the Gul'dan and his coordination with his Blessed Shield. He hits the perfect 3-man fear, taking them all down. And then this is what separates Germany from a lesser team. The instant medevac, as soon as this hard cap is taken to the boss, is the most important thing that then secures them a boss and the 2 kills and the hard cap and so much map pressure to go with it.
Yeah, the only thing they lost in that scenario was the turn-in because they all committed to the boss. But overall, that boss got them a fort, so it still worked out really nicely.
And this is probably what describes the German team the best. Map control, quick reaction timing, making spot-on decisions when it comes to rotating and going for objectives. And that's quite frankly what made them go to the quarterfinals. It was not good team fighting. The Danish team had that regard. It was just simply going for out of the ordinary strategies and making them work like it was the most normal thing to do.
Yeah, and that is interesting considering that, as a reminder to everyone, all the players on these teams were chosen via points from Hero League, via Hero League ranking. So, and Germany, they're not playing like a Hero League team. They're playing very coordinated and playing the map as opposed to playing just a brawly team fight style that we usually see.
Yeah, very true, and I couldn't have said it better myself. However, guys, we're not done just yet with day 5 of the Nexus games here. 3 of our series are done and closed. The last one still remains, and this is also, once again, an exceptionally important one. Team Italy is going to face the United Kingdom. The UK dreams are still alive. All they need is a victory here.
Is it a victory or is it just a 2-0?
Maybe it's a 2-0.
I'm not 100% sure how it works out, but let's cheer for our United Kingdom boys after the break.